I'm gonna be honest, I am procrastinating some pretty heavy uni work to do this. It is due tomorrow and the next day. And it's 1:30. Oh no. Today I'm just going to do a Q&A because I've got a lot of questions over the course of the last few videos I've done regarding camp. They're in the comments and I've had people DM me, so I just thought I would compile the questions. Although these questions, I'm doing it categorized because I thought it would be far too confusing if I just did a whole video of random questions. So this is going to be very kind of like generalized. You've just found out you're going to camp, basic information. It's nothing to do with the application. This is once you've got through and you're wondering kind of simple things really. Also, I want to say that these things are camp specific, so obviously my experience will be different to other people's experiences depending on which camp they went to. I would recommend watching a few of these kind of videos if you want to get a more general picture. Also, if you have any other questions, let me know because I'm going to make more videos of this, and the next video I'm going to make of this style is going to be like a day, an average day at camp, like running you through it, answering those questions because I've got a lot of questions about just like day-to-day camp stuff. Anyway, I'm going to start now. Also, I'm going to put timestamps on the bottom so hopefully you can navigate it if you know the answer to some of these questions you don't want to listen. Okay, the first question I got was how old was I when I first went, and generally how old are people and how old do you have to be. So I was 20 when I first went to camp, which was last summer. You have to be 18 when you fly, and there were people from 18 to like 25, I want to say 24. I don't think there was anyone, oh, I may be lying, maybe like a bit older than that. It's not usually a topic that comes up age because you all just generally are like older than 18, so no one really cares. My co's were 18 and 19 and I was 20, and we had an American co-counselor who was, oh my god, Kylie, I'm so sorry if I get this wrong, but I think she was 16 or 17 at the time. You may find this, you may not, but for our camp they hire campers as counsellors after they pass like, you know, the age where you go to camp, because they obviously know the place really well. They're actually like, it's a blessing having someone who's been there as a camper as a counsellor. But yeah, so we had a lot of younger people as well who were counsellors purely because they knew it better than we did. Yeah, so age generally, like as long as you're 18 isn't like an issue. I think obviously after a certain point you just don't get people applying like older ages because honestly you don't have the time to spend a summer away. Number 2 was, do you fly alone? How do you fly out there? And yes, you technically do, because Camp America will just give you your flight information. It depends if you book your own, obviously. If you book your own flights, you know what's going on. But if you're doing Camp America flights, you will essentially fly alone because you will just be given your information and you don't get any information about who else is on that flight or anything like that. So I recommend finding people who are going to your camp because chances are they're flying out on the same day, and if they live near you from the same airport. That's what I did. We had a big group chat. I met people at the airport and we all went through as like a kind of big mob of counsellors. There were people from loads of other camps there as well. Also, I know that my boyfriend, when he went, he wasn't in a group chat, so he was literally alone, like flying alone really. But when he got to boarding and everything, a lot of people on the flight were Camp America people. So you kind of, if you don't find anyone in the airport, if you haven't found anyone in a group chat, you probably will be sat near or next to people who are doing Camp America because they tend to just buy like blocks of seats. So yes, you fly alone, but you will get used to it, especially if you're traveling. Yeah, it's not as scary as you think. It's actually a very simple process. I would enjoy it. Try not to stress too much. As long as you've got all the, you know, information you need, you're good. 3 is, how long did it take for you to kind of get used to it being there? Like how long did it take for the culture shocks to stop punching you in the face? That's a tough question. I haven't actually thought about this yet. Honestly, I want to say that I was very comfortable right from the beginning in orientation. Like it was quite calm. I think it kind of, the culture shocks and the nervousness happened as time went on because I realized like it kind of sinks in later. The first week I think I was just in my own little world. It didn't sink in that I was really there. You don't have time to think about the change. You don't have time. You have too much going on. So you don't really need time to get used to it. You don't realize that you're getting used to it when you do. That's a really vague and stupid answer, I'm sorry, but it is so true. And when you get there, you'll realize what I mean. You just kind of get on with it and you're not really thinking about it because you're just meeting loads of new people and having a great time. So 4 is kind of along the same lines, and it is, how often did you get homesick, or did you get homesick much? And at the beginning, no. In the middle, middle, absolutely, and at the end, no, not really. This kind of goes along with the next question, so I'm just going to bundle them both in, which was, did you ever hate it? In the middle of camp, before kind of colour war happens, and after the initial just kind of like joyous, oh my gosh, I'm here, this is incredible, I plateaued or even dipped. I just wanted to be in England. It wasn't necessarily that I was like, didn't like the people or I didn't like the place. It was just the culture shock had hit me heavily, and I was getting FaceTimes from home, and it was just really British and calm. Generally speaking, I'm a very introverted person, which is quite stupid of me to like assume I wouldn't feel like this at camp, but it overwhelmed me a lot, and by the middle I was kind of ready to be alone, because you don't get alone time at camp, and that hit me really hard. Being completely honest with you, I definitely had tears, and I definitely did ring home and say like, I don't know if I can do this now, like, because I just hit like a week where I was like, I can't do it, this is too much. I'm quite a high maintenance person, and I also enjoy no one talking to me. I like quiet. I like no one to be around me. So why did I choose Camp Merrick? I don't know, and I'm glad I did, because aside from that 1 week, I had an amazing summer and I'm going again. So if I can give you any tips, it would be value your alone time if and when you get it, because you won't get a lot. So if you can, and if you do, like, value it. Really lean into the quiet. But I think that camp was really good for me in that it pulled me out of my shell, and eventually after my week of oh my gosh, get me out of here, I had a great time, because I finally kind of leaned into the fact that like I did enjoy being around people and I did enjoy their energy, and I was just tired, and it was just a culture shock. I'm not telling you that you're going to be miserable, and I'm also not telling you that you're going to have the best time all the time, but don't be shocked if it hits you and you have a few days or even a week of just get me out of here, because it might do that. It might do that to you. It's a very big change, but it's worth it, and I can only make that judgment call really for myself. So if you really don't feel like it's worth it, you can fly home, but I advise you to stick it out for as long as you possibly can if you feel like that ever, because from my experience it goes, and then you're left with just like a brilliant feeling. Like, it's just great. 6, I almost touched upon this. How much free time do you get for my camp? Obviously, once again, camp specific, but for my camp I got 1 hour off each day. So at the beginning of the day, me and my coach would just choose which period who is going to like be taken off by who. But yeah, so 1 hour a day, and then you get evenings off, but it depends how many counsellors you have in your cabin, because it's a rota. So one night I'd be on duty, and that's from 10 till 12. So everyone goes to the cabin, and then at 10 whoever isn't on duty can go and they can chill for 2 hours until midnight, but whoever is on duty is looking after the kids. We had 4 counsellors, but one of our counsellors did it in another cabin, so we had 3 of us doing on duty. I had 2 nights off, 1 night on duty, and then over the course of the whole camp we had 4 24-hour days off. So, you know, lunchtime to lunchtime 4 times, and that started, I think that started at the end of the 2nd week, and then went on for 4 weeks. But different camps will have different like things, and also some camps are day camps, so you literally just have the evenings, like they're gone, the kids are gone. So very camp specific, that one. Generally speaking, you don't have much time off. It's a heavy job, it's a long job. Hello? Hi. Hi, I'm filming. Do you want to pop in and say hi? I just wanted to get this one done because I hadn't filmed in ages. And what's it? Thanks. It's a Q&A. Who's asked the questions? All the people in my comments. Really? Yeah, I know. Crazy. They're not just made up. No, I didn't make these ones up. It's mad. Look at this. I'm on... How are you not homeless? Homeless? Where did you read that? Are you just going to be there while I kind of just... Yeah. Get this done. Okay. Did you have your phone? Did you have your phone? No, you don't have your phone, and you don't need your phone, to be quite honest. You're really busy, like you're really busy. You give it in, it's in like the kind of staff area, in like a locked box, like you get a locker, you get a locker. Yeah, you use it in the evenings or your off periods or your days off, obviously, but you don't need it. I think that's a like very big misconception where everyone's like, oh my god, but you don't get your phone. You don't need it. You have too much going on. You're meeting new people. Don't spend all your time on your phone. I made that mistake with my off time, that I spent a lot of my off time on my phone, like chatting to my family and stuff. Yeah, but yeah, I didn't. Don't do that. I do recommend getting off your phone more than I did. Do you get paid much? Absolutely not. You don't. No, you just don't. I can't. Oh my god, I was looking at the camera, right? Yeah. You know how it has a square around your face, but it's got a square around mine? I didn't realise. I thought it was like a bit of hair. Like going like that, and because my hair does do that when it's greasy. It does. That is absolutely mental. Dad ate leftover pizza, did he? Or did you? I didn't even know there was leftover pizza. There was. That was so aggressive. What was I talking about? Oh, get paid. Yeah. No, you don't get paid much at all. It's not a job that you go to get like loads of money.
The profit is good experience and a fun time.
A fun time. You gain a good experience and a fun time. Yeah, no, you don't get paid much. Obviously it's camp specific once again, so if you go to like a really prestigious private camp or whatever, I'm sure you get paid slightly more. I'll do a video where I talk about money more specifically.
But the people that need it, are they Jewish?
Who lead it? Yeah.
Like family? Makes sense.
9. What is the American/British counsellor split like? For our camp, it felt like there were more international staff, but I don't think that's actually true. I think it's just because obviously you travel with them, you get closer with international staff because you're traveling after, and the Americans all usually know each other already, so it feels almost like your group is bigger. And I think there were. Because like, now I'm thinking about it, there were like maybe 1 or 2 American counsellors in each cabin, and then the rest were international, so like 3 or 2 international. So it feels like there's more international, but obviously it's dependent on where you go. What times do you get up? What times do you go to bed? I don't remember. That we have a thing called like reveille. It's like the little, they play music and you wake up to the song and you can kind of request which song they play in the morning, and then they go good morning campers, and then they do like a what the weather's gonna be like, and then you do the flagpole. So but I think that's at like 7:20 for us. Well, it depends if you're an early bird. Some people get up before 7:20 to like shower and do everything before the kids get up. By the end of camp I was barely even getting up at 7:20. But yeah, then you go to flagpole, do the, what's it called, the Pledge of Allegiance. You do the Pledge of Allegiance and you go to breakfast. As mad. Lastly, I think, yes, lastly, how do nights out work for those who are under 21? And I was under 21 last summer when I went for the first time. You still go out with everyone on your nights out.
You just
One thing,
stay outside.
you just stay outside.
You just wait.
You just look a bit sad, just standing outside the club like. One thing you should watch out for is when you're booking hotels and stuff, some hotels require you to have someone who is 21 to actually check in. So watch out for that, because that is annoying. And I know one of my friends who I had at camp with me, who I booked hotels with, she was over 21, so it was okay because she was there. But there was a group who was with us who had booked it and they didn't have anyone in their group who were over 21, so she had to like step in and say, oh, I'm with them as well. But yeah, so watch out for that. In terms of clubs, honestly, it's the same sort of thing in the UK. Like, I guess if you really want to, you could, I don't encourage this at all, but if you really want to, you could try and get into somewhere. It depends if they're ID, depends what night it is, I guess. Just make the most of what you can. You don't need to drink, and also I wouldn't really recommend it, especially you're going back to camp the next day. You're not allowed on camp premises if you have alcohol in your system. You obviously need to be stone cold sober when you're on camp premises. So it's a weird one, that, because I know obviously people really want to have a good night out in America when they're traveling. I just wouldn't risk it so much, but that's me like, I don't drink very much anyway, so I don't know. It's your preference. You do you. Also, you really don't want to get in trouble if they like catch you out. That's like a nightmare waiting to happen. Okay, I hope you found that helpful. And also, if you have any more questions, once again, leave them down below. I'm gonna make a fair amount more content on this before I go, hopefully. And I'm also gonna be scheduling content to go up whilst I'm away, although I'm sure a lot of you will be away whilst I'm away as well, so that's probably not helpful for you in any way. I hope you enjoyed. Like it if you like it. That's not even what I say. Like it if you liked it, and subscribe if subscribe. I'm tired, I've been writing so many words. Like it if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to. There you go. Ding ding ding. Yeah, I'll be around. Okay. Love you lots, guys. Thank you for the love. Ignore the what's it's dust. Or if you're American, these are Cheetos. They're not as good, actually. Okay, anyway, bye.